What's up everyone, I'm Yasmin Whitland and welcome back to my channel. Happy Friday everyone. I will be talking about David Eason in this video. So he posted this to his Instagram account maybe a few days ago. I would say maybe a little over a week ago, and I forgot about this. But he posted to his Instagram account a video of Marissa actually driving around on the land. Now she was actually driving pretty decent. It wasn't erratic or it didn't seem like she didn't know what she was doing, but nonetheless, she was in the driver's seat and David was in the passenger side, and she was actually driving. You know, she was her seatbelt was on and she was driving around on the land, and then you can hear David from the passenger seat kind of coaching her, like, okay, now put it in drive. Okay, now straighten your wheel out. Okay, just put a little bit of gas to the car, like don't floor it. And everybody had a lot to say online, and some people, once again, they're totally divided. People are just like, oh my gosh, like that is so unsafe. David is insane. Like, what kind of father will let his 11-year-old daughter drive around on the land, or 12-year-old daughter drive around on the land? And that's not safe to just, the land is uneven, as we all know. Their house is allegedly sinking, so what if she gets stuck in the mud, and what if she floors it and runs into the house? What if something crazy happens and then they get hurt, or she gets hurt? That's not good parenting. But then on the flip side, a lot of people are just like, well, growing up, that was normal. Growing up, we will always like get in our parents' cars, and our parents would kind of like teach us how to drive around, like either in an empty parking lot or maybe just on our land in our backyard, especially if you're from the country. So without further ado, let me go ahead and play this clip of David Eason actually coaching Marissa how to drive. All right, so you all seen that clip. Anyways, you can kind of see that she was driving the car and stuff like that, and he was kind of coaching her on like what to do. And my personal take on it, I just feel like I have like a fluffy on my nose, and I've been doing this the entire time and there's like nothing, but maybe I'm crazy. But my personal thoughts on it is, personally, I can't say anything negative because I feel like, well, no, there is some pros and cons to the situation. Obviously, the con in this situation is if she loses control of the car, if she accidentally, puts it in the wrong gear, or if she floors it by accident, if she crashes into something on the land, or obviously that is like the con to having kids driving, or that's just anybody driving, but especially an inexperienced driver, that's definitely the things that you need to be aware of. So, that's the cons. But to me personally, I can't sit up here and be a hypocrite, because we used to do that all the time. Like, I'm a country girl. Like, I live in the city now, in Newport News City, in uptown Newport News, but I am a country girl. There's so many like areas that's just like completely woodsy. Like, we would go like swim in the reservoirs, we would go like take our dog and like go fishing, and we would just take our parents' car, and then they would kind of like coach us on like how to drive and then turn the wheel, how to reverse, and how to do all these things like right in our backyard, because we had so much land. Like, we had acres of land, and they would just do that. That's just something we did, and my brothers did it, and everyone in my family, they literally were taught how to drive just by getting inside of the car, and our parents just having, or our aunts, uncles, whoever, just like, all right, now put your seatbelt on. Okay, cool. Adjust your mirrors, adjust your seat, so on and so forth. And then if it seemed like we were going a little too fast, they'll say, hey, okay, let off the gas a little bit, turn it. So I can't be a hypocrite and say, David is this and David is that, and screw him. Honestly, personally, I don't see anything wrong with it as long as you have a responsible adult in the car with you to supervise what you're doing. Now, if Marissa was driving by herself in the car, obviously then I'm like, okay, like that's too far, because she is not even old enough to get like a driver's permit or like a learner's permit or anything like that. So that would be a different story. But I think the key word is a responsible parent. And I don't know if David is like totally responsible, because he can be a loose cannon at times. But based off the video, I can't say anything negative. I don't think he said anything wrong. I don't think he did anything wrong. I just think he needs to obviously just not do it so often, or just, you know, kind of allow her to do it, but just, you know, keep, you know, being in the car with her so that nothing crazy can happen. But past that point, unless there was something, like I said, unless she was driving by herself and David's just in the house lounging and she's driving around by herself or something like that, unless it was like that, personally, I don't really see the harm in it. It's good old, I mean, I think it's good old country folk. I mean, again, I used to do it when I was younger, and that's how my mom taught me how to drive like a manual, like a stick shift. And I used to hate trying to get it out of, you have to get, you know, put it in neutral, you got to do all this stuff. And I used to hate trying to put it in the first gear, second gear, third gear. And that was just crazy. I don't ever want to drive, they call it like driving a clutch. I don't ever want to drive like a freaking manual ever again. That was like the craziest thing ever. We had tons of fun laughing at each other. I mean, my brother, he was driving one time and it felt like he was going to flip the car over. So it's just like, we've had so much innocent fun with our parents, you know, trying to learn how to drive. But as long as you keep it fun and, you know, there's nothing crazy going on, or there's no severe hazards, or the child is not driving crazy, or if they're not taking directions well, other than that, I don't see anything wrong. So what do you all think about this situation of David Eason actually like coaching Marissa how to drive? I actually thought it was kind of like adorable that they had some sort of bond going on there, because it's like a daddy-daughter bond, and I thought that was so cool. So what do you all think about this? It's weird to kind of have positive things to say about David. I never really had positive things to say about him ever. So this is a weird video, but what do you all think in the comment section below? Do you think this was like a good idea? Do you think it was like maybe a bad idea and he shouldn't do it? Do you think he's a responsible parent? Because I don't know about that one. I'm on the edge about that one. I don't know, I'm teetering. So I'm Yasmin Woodland. Subscribe if you're new, and let me know that you're new in my comment section below so I can tell you welcome to my channel. And until next time, all right, see ya.